Peace and greetings. E-Toy here. Yes, and we're back with another one on a Thursday at 8 p.m. Sorry for the tardiness. Yeah, we having some technical difficulties here. It's actually Mercury retrograde. We have a special guest tonight. His name is Pretty Good from Harlem. He's the one that's having some technical difficulties. And that Mercury retrograde, you always gotta remember to check your devices. Check your devices just to make sure. Check everything, double check everything. You know, Mercury retrograde is something else, and it will make you go back and double check things that you need to tune up in communication, electronics, and especially our phones, our computers, and things of that nature. So Pretty Good gonna be in a little later. He's actually working out, his technical difficulties right now, but he's gonna be on, and I can't wait to hear his. I know his story, but I can't wait for y'all to hear his story. So the theme is music is therapy, and I can attest to that. You know, there's so many frequencies around here that have our energy either up or down. And what I love about music is it just heals the soul from the tones and the frequency that it gives off if you're listening to the right thing. So before I start, you know how I got to start. I got to give thanks and praises to the Most High, to the ancestors, because you know what? Without them, we can't do it. Mm. I give thanks to the Most High. Thank you, Most High, for allowing me to create a platform to speak to your children, to be able to have a safe space where we can be able to heal and let go and share each other's medicine. I give thanks to my assigned guides. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Mm. I give thanks to my ancestors. Thank you, ancestors, for opening the way. Thank you, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. Thank you for the protection. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the healing. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I give thanks to my Ori. Thank you, Ori, for blessing me and not shutting the gates on me. Thank you for healing me and showing me which way is it that I am supposed to go. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. May I have the words to say out my mouth and let it be clear and let it resonate with the audience. Because this is Mercury retrograde. And things could be misconstrued. Messages can be misconstrued. Let the technology be okay for this next hour, being that this is Mercury retrograde. So I just want to give thanks. We could get right into it. So I just want to give a little recap because y'all know I was going for the summer. I was out there putting on shows or doing spoken word things of that nature. But when I started so everything had to be so perfect. I had a table laid out. I had the table with my laptop and props up and light this and light here. And I had my headphones and my short microphone and I had all this stuff laid out. Now at the end of the summer, now I'm like 11 episodes in. Now I'm on my couch. I'm chilling. I'm laid back with my feet up, and I like it like this. I feel more comfortable. I feel more relaxed. I feel more of myself. I feel like I could be myself, just chilling. And when I do get a studio, I'm putting it into the atmosphere. My studio, we're gonna be on the couch, and we're gonna be lounging, and we're gonna be chilling with our feet up and shoes off. So before we get into it, being that this is music is therapy, I want to play a tune. And this is a 432 hertz megahertz frequency. And the 432 megahertz frequency is when you vibrating on the same energy and the same frequency as the universe. And I had a trying week and also a trying day. And this is a mental health podcast. So this is not just for me to bring awareness, to everyone else. It's also healing for me when I do this. So everything that I say, everything that I do it for myself because I am a human being, and I fall short all the time. So my story and my role, my path is my medicine. And as I learn, we all learn. So what we gonna do is I remember y'all, I'm not sure if y'all remember, I used to do breath work with you guys and a healing meditation with you guys. I just want to play a 432 megahertz meditation frequency. So if there's anything that you have, 'cause this during this there's 6 planets in retrograde right now. So things could be topsy turvy, things cannot be going, into your liking. Things could be missed astray. Let's take this time right now to just get back to self and get grounded and just meditate right quick and just be present within our body. So I'm going to play a tune and just relax with it and just let go. Close your eyes and just let go. I hope you all can hear it. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just let all the stress, all the worries, all the anxiety, whatever has bothered you throughout the day, the week, the life, just gives it this opportunity to just let it go. I know that I have been challenged this week, so for me, I need this moment right here. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. As you're breathing in, just imagine all the positive energy and healing and life going into your body. And as you're breathing out, imagine all the stress and all the pain and all the worry, all the anxiety leaving your body. Breathe in, breathe out. For the next breath, when you breathe in, imagine you breathing in light coming from the bottom of your feet, going up your legs to your knees, your thighs, your abdomen, your stomach, your heart, your neck, your mouth, your eyes, and to the top of your crown. And as you breathe out, release all darknesses. Breathe in, breathe out. Oh, I don't know about y'all, but I needed that. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So we got to give credit where credit is due, because I don't want nobody to, you know, blank out this podcast. So this is 432 Hertz Deep Healing Music, Meditation and Healing Podcast. So as I said before, we got a wonderful guest coming in. I hope he got everything great going through this Mercury retrograde. As I stated before, this is Mercury retrograde. We got to push through it, honey, because there's a lot of confusion going on. Messages would get construed, your words would get construed, technology will be all jacked up. Watch your cars, watch your finances, watch how you respond to things because it's a lot of low vibrational energies out there. Do your spiritual work, do everything that you have to do just to stay above the negative frequency. All right. So before I get into pretty good, I want to read one excerpt from you for you. This is from Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. And as you all know, I am challenged with anxiety every now and then. Notice I'm saying challenge. Notice I'm saying I don't have because I'm not manifesting that over myself. We got to use our words correctly. Challenged with anxiety. Um, I realized that the reason why I was challenged with it because I wasn't present within myself. I wasn't present within the moment. I was too busy living in the past from the pain, and I was too busy worried about the future and what's to come. And I've been reading this book called The Power of Now, and it's The Power of Now, a guide to spiritual enlightenment, and it's so deep. And I'm not going to take up too much of this time, but I just want to read a passage, about a 2-minute passage. The mind is essentially a survival machine, attack and defense against other minds, gathering, storing, and analyzing information. This is what it is good at, but it is not at all creative. All true artists, whether they know it or not, create from the place of no mind, from their inner stillness. The mind then gives a form of creative impulses or insight. Even the great scientists have reported that their creative breakthroughs came from the mental quietude. The surprising result of the nationwide inquiry among America's most eminent mathematics, including Einstein, to find out their working methods was a thinking plays only in subordinate part of the brief, decisive phase of the creative act itself. So, if I were to say that the simple reason why the majority of scientists are not creative is not because they do not know how to think, but because they don't know how to stop thinking. Mm. That is deep for me because my mind sometimes it just keeps going and going and and I'm a creative. I love to create. I love to create with my hands. I love to write. I love to decorate and things of that nature. But when I find out when my mind is just keep going and going and thinking and thinking and thinking, and I'm not grounded within myself, I can't create. When I notice that I let everything go and I let it all blank out and I just travel somewhere else, that's when I tap into something else and I'm able to create. So that's also to all the creatives out there. I hope y'all catch that. I hope y'all resonate with that. And I'm pretty sure they understand that. As to our next guest. So without further ado, I hope he got everything together. His name is Pretty Good. He's a pretty good guy. He's an artist. He's a writer. He's a promoter. What else can I say about this guy? My son is looking at me. He's an all-around good guy. He's a peace activist. He's a music producer. He's a performer. The list just goes on and on and on, and he has pretty good energy. So without further ado, let's bring in Pretty Good.
Hey, how y'all doing? How
Hi,
you
how are
doing?
you? How's everything?
I'm pretty good. And you?
You're pretty good. Well, that's
Yeah,
pretty good to hear.
yeah. No,
First
I
and
had to.
foremost, I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a special guest of mine. For those of you that's watching and who is going to watch the replay, Pretty Good has played an intricate part of my creativity this year. Um, as far as me getting out there and getting over my stage fright, pushing me to the forefront. getting in front of everybody and being myself. So I just want to say thank you for the creative critiques. Thank you
Mm.
for pushing me to do what I love to do. So I just want to say thank you and God bless. You all right? Can you hear me? It's pretty good there.
Yeah, I heard it. Stop for a second.
Uh oh.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you. I
Uh oh.
appreciate you.
Hey, what?
I pre- I appreciate you for your push too. You pushed me to throw my first show, um, showcase, our
Our
showcase.
our first shows.
Yeah, our
Our first show.
right.
So
That's
everybody that
all.
don't know, remember I was telling y'all last week I had threw a show. This is the guy that I threw it with, Mr.
Right.
Pretty Good. And I would like to say that um I wouldn't have been able to throw that show if it wasn't for him. It was his name that got us that location. I just was the muscle. I just put in. I was the woman behind the scenes, making
Right.
sure, everything went the way they went. I know Pretty Good got on my nerve. I mean, I got on he got on my nerves too.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
But
You
I
said it
know
right.
I got on his nerves, because once I get zoned in, I imagine it a certain way.
Right.
So, as you know, this is a mental health show. I want to say thank you, for everything. This the spotlight is about you. I'm going to stop talking and tell the audience about yourself.
Like she said, my name is pretty good. PRETTIGOOD. If it is not I, it's not me. That's search purposes. Um, um, I'm just me. I'm just my father's child, my mother's child, and you know, I'm a entertainer from at heart. Like my mother and father, big dancers all my life. I think I just danced my way out into the world. Like I think did the Harlem Shake, came out with a shoulder first or something. But straight to Harlem Hospital, made in Harlem, St. Nick Projects. But yeah, I'm just me, humble and just like my name, pretty good at everything I do until I elevate to pretty great. You know, and I just love life, love living, and then we get to that part in a second. With the mental health where it goes down and it goes up and the roller coaster. You know, so uh, wanted to be a singer, so my voice went down. Barry White, um, and I don't know. You got some questions for me, Islana? Where should we start? Where you want to start at?
You ready for the questions?
I'm ready for the question. Yeah,
All
start me
right.
off.
Well, as you know, this is a mental health show. And when people see you out in the world performing and laughing and have a good time, all they see is pretty good, and they see the smile, they see the life of the party, because you are the life of the party, you
Right.
know. But do everybody know Glenn?
Um, I could say the people that I grew up with in my area in St. Projects, they know Glenn, and they know that I always have a smile, and they know most of my life because I put it out there like a book that I'm writing. So when I put it out there, and not too many people could see that I'm going through a lot, but a lot of people know what I'm going through and when I'm going through it, and all I have to keep a smile on my face. I can't show the world that I'm mad or that I'm upset, because then I'm just going to be upset. I'm just going to claim it. So I just claim happiness, like until we're happy. You're not going to stay happy, but you can get happy. But so nobody really. If somebody sees a frown on my face, then they know I'm really really down. Like because nobody gets a chance to really see that. Nobody really gets a chance to see me down. You know, and I'm always doing music. That's what keeps me happy.
When was the beginning of the road to your mental health, being challenged with mental health or things of that nature?
I I think the when my parents broke up, like when they, it was a it was when my parent when my I had my father in my household till I was 14 years old. So when they broke up, it was kind of like a bad split, and I had to get out the house and roll and go be with my dad, basically. So I think in that time, that's just around the same time I started writing. I had wrote an R&B song when I was 13, and then my mother and father broke up when I just started writing raps when I was 14. But my raps wasn't reflecting the pain. They was still reflecting trying to be happy. I would just start, messing with girls. Like so, I was talking about girls, and I was just trying to be happy. And my father was teaching me, but it's like I said, at the same time, my mother and father split right when I started writing. So it was like kind of confusing, confusing because my father was still there for my mother doing what he needed to do as a man and as a father, and
Mm,
you know,
I
and
share to him.
like like that unk life.
Right.
But so I just try to listen to some of his teaching and keep writing. He told me I was a writer before anything, so I just kept writing until like I mean we can get further into it, but as far as the writing, when it got to a point where I got to a mental block, it was because I needed to get out. I needed to write and get that out of me, the pain that it caused when they broke up, and then what me and my mother went through. I never got a chance to write it. I didn't want to write it in a song. I didn't want to write it in a book. I didn't want to make it permanent on paper. You know,
Mm,
so I felt like if I made it permanent, then we can always go back to it. And then it's like I'm now putting my mother out there rather than because I had to choose a side, and you know, but it ain't no side when it's your mother and your father. Like at the end of the day, you lose one, you got the other. So it was just a choice on right and wrong at the time.
mm.
You know.
There's a lot of children that go through that with their parents splitting up, and it's hard. I remember when I went through that with my mother, but
Mm-hmm.
they split up when I was very, very young. Um, and it's cool, you have childhood trauma, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because it's like your whole world is just being torn apart,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really not a good feeling because you have to adjust to a new life.
Right.
And
See,
then,
hear that. Sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
Now I want to hear what you was gonna say, but I'm not meaning to cut you off.
No, it's your show. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Actually, it's your show, and I mean the experience. But but I mean, I didn't even really know that I was hurt at the time. I mean, I knew I was hurt, but I didn't know
Mm,
it was sticking with me. I thought once I forgave, I thought it was over. Like I don't, but it was more than that. Like, and I was really upset that my my family was broken up because I have siblings. I had three other siblings that lived in the house with us. So I was 14, my sister was 9, my brother was 7, and my other sister was 4. So baby sister, baby girl, she didn't even feel it. Like the ones in the middle, I guess, felt it more. I just understood, but I I was mad. I say I was mad at my mother,
mm,
you know, and it took a long time for me to let that go with other things that we went through because I looked so much like my dad. just a just a lighter version like my mother. And I have both of their attitudes, and both of them, whoa, father book smart, my mother street smart, and they both just love to dance. I thought if I could just dance, I could just, get the attention off of off of being feeling like I was by myself.
Mm.
How you dance in the mirror, you dance, and you come out the bathroom, you butt naked, you dancing, you go in the room, you look in the window, the window's a mirror, you dancing. Like I could tell you one thing that I never really told anybody, but it's a picture that was on my wall that kept me sane, and I still have it.
Mm.
Like that's a picture from my household. I took to my grandmother's house. It took to this house, put it in the storage, took it out. In the
Mm.
picture, I felt like I looked in that picture. I looked in the window, which was my mirror, and I just wrote rhymes. Even when they was arguing, I didn't even hear them. Like, and we had the big headphones back then with the big headphones. So when they covered your whole ear, you couldn't hear anything. Big DJ
Wait, hold
headphones.
on, pretty,
Couldn't hear.
hold on, pretty girl. You're breaking up. Can you hear me?
I could hear you clear.
You breaking up. That Mercury retrograde acting up again.
I could hear you clear. I could see me moving clear as always. My phone. This is a
Yeah, your
5G.
screen is frozen.
Oh wow, I could see you fine. Here we go.
All right, now you're back. All right, we got to work
Oh,
with Mercury retrograde. We got come on Mercury now.
right, right. I could see everything moving fine. Real time is always my phone. I just bought this phone. I just bought this.
It's all right. It's all right. We gonna make it work. We gonna make it saying it was the picture, and you took it with you from house to house.
So yeah, so the picture I took it from house to house, and um, I it took me, you know, it took me to realize to look at the picture when I almost left it to realize that that's what kept me sane. In them big headphones back in the days that they used to have, it was like covered your whole ears and big DJ headphones. I couldn't hear them arguing when they were still in the house. Like,
Mm.
you know, so it was just, I think, a lot of my friends, we grew up with our fathers in our house, but the ones that didn't, like like all of our mothers and fathers was mothers and fathers to all of my friends. We called everybody mom, like, you know, so, and we all got a chance to spend the night at each other's houses or ate at each other's houses. Thanksgiving, we went from 14th floor, worked our way downstairs, and got to play. It's like it was Halloween, in fact, all the place. So when my father was gone, it was like I didn't want to be in the house. Like I wanted to go be hang out with my father, go play chess, go with my grandfather, learn golf and tennis and bowling, you know. So politics. So that's kind of like where my life went that way, and that's my whole family. My father's side is my music side of everybody is musical on that
You're
side. So
breaking up
that's
again.
every time it's getting good, it start breaking up.
Right. So is there a time that you would like to share that you can remember that you feel comfortable with sharing? Because your story and what you've been through is your medicine, and it also could be a medicine for someone else that can relate to it. So if they see that you went through it and you went through something like that, because a lot of people only know the one the pretty girl that always smile. Is it something that you
Mhm.
feel comfortable with sharing that you went through when you was younger, and it just that's maybe someone can relate to?
I mean, as far as coming back around, or just something else that I went through that I got through. Um, I'm gonna say this. Something else that stuck with me that was kind of
Breaking up
crazy.
again.
Oh, you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Fatty, it's about
Yes.
to be a doozy. Um, Something else that stuck with me that I didn't realize either, you know, until um my daughter, my daughter and my niece was like in the street too early to be outside in the street too early. They're running around when it was rapists out in the street. When my mother and father broke up, my mother was mostly at her boyfriend's house, and she came back. You know, made sure we ate, made sure we went to sleep, made sure we went to school. She did everything that she supposed to do. But I had free house, and I was a virgin at 14. And this 23-year-old lady came downstairs and took my virginity.
Mm.
So kind of like, um, you know, as a boy, you not it's not rape to you, like you know, but it's statutory. It is statutory rape. So when my
Right.
girls, when my daughter and my niece started being in the street, and I was already changed my life into the peace movement, it was kind of hard for me to sit there and show everybody that what my father taught me, that you know, like, we know better now. It's time to do better. Life is a cycle, and
Mm.
and some stuff is going to come back around. And when something happened to my sister, I wanted to get myself locked up to go kill a dude that was in jail,
Mm.
and he killed.
Did that bring you back to a time when you got statutory raped?
It brought me back to the time because my mother was mad, and God bless my aunt Tara. They was upset, but I was like to my mother, "It's your fault. Like, you left us in the house, which you, and I'm a grown
Mm.
young man. So what am I supposed to do? So if you leave the girls in the street and the boys are sitting there trying to holler at them, and and we only got girls, no older boys, no older sons and nephews, who's there to protect them?
Mm.
Then I got to come back and then go strap up and go talk to these little boys, because these little boys ain't playing. Like, you can't back them into a corner. So now my life has to change back around, and that's a conflict of interest with me. Like,
Mm.
so after I made that change to go straight, now I have to go left, or I have to try to get everybody right. And it's hard when you're talking to people and trying to get everybody on the same page, rather than them thinking that you're talking down to them, or trying to tell them what to do, when now I'm the man of the house.
Mm.
So when I'm out the house now, it's just like, okay, everything is going on, and I come back, and it's like it's no order. My mother put the foot down on me. She put 2 feet down on me and sat on me, made me the example. Like, you gonna set the example, and then it seemed like once I'm out the house, everybody's doing what they want to do, or she's letting them do what they want to do. But people, I don't know what she was going through. You know, so
Maybe she felt that she wanted to ease up on the rest of the children because she saw the mistakes that she made with you.
right, oh, yeah, right. And now their father's out the house, and now they have to deal with somebody else that's brand new, and they don't know him. So I guess she was just letting them feel like, find a way, feel, just easy. She let them, like with us, it was a family, and this is, okay, you're gonna do this and this and that, or I'm gonna tell your father, and then by the time your father get home, and then I go to grandma's house, I can't get no cake. I was getting this, I was on, so I couldn't do a lot of things. And when he came around, it was just like, okay, my father's not here. I can't sit in here and just do this. Like, who's this man? I'm gonna go see my father. But I loved that man. After a while, he was a beautiful man. Willie, God bless him, he passed away, but he was a beautiful man. And but it took, I was able to understand because of what my father was already teaching me. My father wasn't showing that he was upset with my mother. He was still giving her money. He was still taking his money, and he just didn't come around. He just let us come to him. And I was out the house. 14. Now I'm out. I'm going down the block to see my father.
Mm.
And but when now, like, I have two sons. So when my son is when me and my son and my daughter's mother broke up, now they're in the house by themselves. So now, what am I to do in that situation? So now I'm like almost powerless back in the situation that I was.
How
You
did
know,
that make you feel? Like, did that bring up like a PTSD moment, or
it brought up the same thing because like now, back in the days we didn't know about certain things, and my son, handsome dude, like so, he's always fresh to death. His mother keep him fresh to death, super super fresh, and girls running down on him. So what if some lady run down on him and I don't get a chance to teach him stuff that my father taught me because I was he was one when I when his mother broke up. His sister was 8.
does it seem?
So
Does it seem like it's the same patterns that go on? Because I know with my generation, there's patterns that was done to me by my mother. I feel as though now it's spilling over, with my children. And I remember when I used like my first son, and that's why I said that about your mother. She didn't know you was her first kid, so she
hmm
thought she had to be hard on you. She thought she was
right,
doing the right thing.
right.
Um, sorry if y'all hear my children in the background. I told them we on studio time. They don't listen. They talking, they running back and forth. I hear toilet flushes and things. So anyway, I know that I was pretty hard on my first son. I have 5 children, and people don't know, and 2 grandchildren. And on my first child, Anthony, I love you, baby. I was really hard on him coming up because of the life that I've been through, and I wanted him to be ready for that. Where I used to always say, "The world gonna chew you up and spit you out," and I'm just getting you ready for the world. And I thought I was doing something good,
hmm
and it was from my heart because he would say, "Nah, it's because of you. I'm like this, ma. Like it's because of you, out of it. It's because of you." But I see the effects where it's not so good for him.
hmm
He has mother wounds,
Yeah. You
and
know,
I just thought that I was doing a good thing. Go ahead.
so crazy because like you met my mother, but she never told you that part of the story. My mother said the same thing. She said, I'm gonna make you a man." I'm like, "You can't make me a man. Like, I have a father. Like my father is a man. You could teach me about your experiences with men, but you can't make me a man. You
Yeah,
know, and
I
and
understand that.
right, and my father can't make me a man. He could teach me how to be a man. I have to be a man. God is going to make me a man. From a boy to a man, I'm gonna have to learn how to be a man and learn how to be a father. And and
I
we
say
have to learn. So, like you said, my first baby girl, I had her every day with me. We still learning every day. I'm teaching, she teaching me. Little girls teach you. Little girls. I just spoke that on my friend's page. Little girls teach you. Baby girls teach
yes.
you.
You know what I have learned throughout this whole year, and especially this summer. A lot of the problems, or I would say challenges, that people have as adults, they have parent wounds, they have mother wounds, they have
hmm
father wounds, they have childhood trauma, and then they don't know that they carry these traumas with them throughout their childhood. And what they
hmm
do is, and I know for me, um, I went through so much as a child, and I didn't realize until I had my nervous breakdown that I still carried these pains with me. I carried that little girl with me all the way up until, this year. I
hmm
realized that there'll be incidences of that will come up, that'll be similar to something that happened in the past as a child, and I will react the same way. And I'm just saying to myself, hold on, wait a minute. So we don't have tantrums. And I don't mean tantrums when you fall out on the floor and you stomp your feet. I mean tantrums when you get upset, you get mad, and you don't speak. You know how I get.
Mhm.
But just other things as far as when you get around somebody that doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. Like for me, I was molested as a child. So now when I feel that pedophile energy, I feel myself clenching up and start,
Mhm.
shivering, because it'll take me back to a mental place. Um, and it's just, this world needs a lot of healing.
Right.
And we just need, more empathy for each other because you don't know what someone went through. And as to say to your mother, you don't know what she went through. Well, you do, but every single thing that she went through as a child, and we raise our children on how we was raised.
We
You
wind
know,
up saying some of the same exact slogans and mottos that our mothers that said to us that their mother said to them, and a lot of them probably made sense. But however, I grew up, we grew up in the BC, what's that?
BCW,
I didn't even want to say it. I
BC
knew it was
Bureau.
BCW days. Like,
Hold on, Bureau of Child Welfare. And how do I know that? Because I was the ward of the state at one time. That's how
wow,
bad it got for me.
wow.
That's
Well,
how bad it got for me.
mine. I'm gonna say this because I'm sitting. It's just funny because I'm sitting in my next door neighbor house, so it's just kind of funny. Like the time when my next door neighbor's mother passed my mother the bat, and I'm like, and then the next time because I went, and this is so crazy. Like this is how bad. I mean, how bad or how good it is. As I told you, when I was writing my book, I was questioning myself. When you write in your book, like you reliving everything all over again. So if you're sitting there by yourself, I would start crying. Sometimes I started laughing. I bust out laughing. But I had to ask myself, why did I go to karate school if I already knew how to fight? And then I started laughing to myself because I was like, yo, I went to karate school to learn how to block my mother because I couldn't hit her back. I had to just keep blocking. There's not that much blocking in the world. Like 52 blocks. I had to learn that one too. Like, okay, and it still wasn't working because she got a good left. And, like, so my mother was a bruiser fighting boys, tomboys. So I had to really block. But then the next time it got real and I was blocking too much and she got tired, she went next door and asked for the aluminum back. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, and she gave it to her. And I'm like, oh no, what's going on? Like, I just took that one now. We're not gonna do this. Now I gotta eat all these punches. I'm just gonna take this back. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna break me. Like,
Right.
and but it took me. I started writing this book a couple of years ago, and I never finished it yet. But I was really sitting there laughing, like laughing at my pain because I was getting hit with
Mm.
that my forearms. I could take a hit on these forearms now. Like, you know, you try to hit me, you're gonna hurt yourself. Right here. But, I call Big Raw's blocking school. so, so where you playing now? Play fighting.
But
So,
that's good. That's good. I want to move it along just a little bit.
hmm
Tell me about the how, because I remember mentioned earlier because we had like a little pre-interview,
hmm
and you said that when your parents broke up and things of that nature, that it led you to the streets.
oh yeah. So, my uncle, he's always in my mother's brother. He was always in and out the house, in and out the house with some brown paper bags. You know. So my cousin started coming in. He was fresh to death. He ain't have no 9 to 5. So I figured out what was going on. I went in the closet, started figuring out stuff. I made it over to Amsterdam Broadway, came back. Um, and I was in the street for a second. I was in the street, and I think one of the not even think the thing that saved me is we was doing demos. We was doing like demo demos for trying to get a record deal. So it was a few of us, a lot of my friends, we was doing music, and we bumped into commercials. We, by the grace of God, like somebody was doing a commercial, and they introduced us to it, and I sold my first commercial at 18 with no GED, high school diploma, and that's what saved me from, like, my mother. My
Mm,
mother seen my mother came in and she seen a shoebox full of money, and she seen the I ain't gonna give them, can't say their name, the flip phone, them big flip phones that burn your ear, and she was like, "What, you selling drugs?" I was like, "Nope, I'm selling commercials." And that's what saved me. That's what saved me.
mm,
And even though I dipped and dabbed again, I know I jumped in and jumped out like double dutch and did, my ones and twos. But that second time I got caught, I got out by the grace of God of music, because my probation officer was in
mm,
love with. She was in love with music, and my cousin Pudgy the Fat Bastard was he was just coming out, and I was his hype man, and I got locked up, and she didn't violate me. All she wanted was an autograph, autograph album, and my name happened to be on the back of the album. And I
mm.
still never got her the album, but I got out of jail, and then I started selling bud. So that's another story. Yeah, so bud is legal now. So yeah, and then I started
Well,
doing music, and I started smoking bud on my 18th birthday. So all that happened at the same time. Like, I was
well,
happy.
give thanks to that. You kind of jumped ahead a little bit. You're talking about the good
Okay,
news, but no, but it's fine. It's okay. Cause is it
still went
okay
bad.
with you? Because huh?
Still went bad again. We still going up and down. Still
No, no,
bad.
no, no, no.
Okay,
We're
but
gonna we're gonna keep the flow going. But is it okay? We take a 60-minute commercial break, a 60-second commercial
oh,
break.
okay. Mm-hmm. We can
All
do
right.
that.
Well, so we'll be right back because I got to go pay some bills and I got to use the bathroom.
The water bill. The water bill.
Got to go pay the water bill. So we be right
Right.
back. Yes. So we up here, we chopping it up. I'm on my couch just lounging. I think I'm gonna do it like this for now on. But like I said before, I would have the table. Right. When I first started out, I had a table, I had a laptop, I had props, a proper table. I had to have this angle, I had a light, I had this light, I had all this stuff around me, and had to do all this nonsense. And I feel so comfortable just chilling on my couch, so relaxed, and this is how it's going to be. And when I get my studio and I have my guests, we're going to be on the couch with our shoes off, feet up, or if they want to have their socks on, they whatever. I'm probably going to have my socks, my shoes off. So we be right back. And thank you to everyone that's watching. Feel free to comment. I can't see if anybody commenting anything yet. No, nobody has a comment in yet. Feel free to comment. Feel free to call in. We got pretty good. He's being very subtle. When we behind closed doors, sometimes, he had me almost tearing up about what he went through in his life. I think he doesn't really want to reveal too much. I had another guest that was like that, who was my sacred woman practitioner. Yeah, yes, yeah.
Oh,
He's being very subtle, but I can understand that. And I want y'all to understand he is not camera shy. I just think that he doesn't want to indulge into too much. But like I said before, you telling your story, you know, is your medicine, is somebody else's medicine as
right.
well, because of what you've been through. You're going to be able to heal somebody else. Because, like, everybody doesn't know that side, of you. Everybody sees the pretty good side when you on stage, you performing, you singing, you rapping, you laughing, you having a good time.
Oh
You
no,
know.
we gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that.
All right, cool. So let me go pay this water bill. I'll be right
All right.
back. 60
All right.
seconds. And we are back. Y'all should have seen how I had to run to the bathroom, but this is real life, okay? Like I said y'all before, y'all gonna see me make mistakes. Y'all gonna see me laugh. Y'all gonna see me cry. I remember when back on my second episode, my internet was so jacked up, it didn't make no sense. It was a, and you know what? Instead of me editing it out, I left it in there. Whew. Let me catch my breath. Because I had to run down the hall and then run back. So again, we have pretty good as a guest. I want y'all. Let me do a little quick recap. You know, he's a writer, artist, a performer, a producer. He's also a peace advocate, and like I told pretty good plenty of plenty of times that he came into my he came into my life around the time when right after a year after, literally a year after I had my nervous breakdown, but I still didn't know what I was doing. I was trying new things, I was trying to see what's going on with my life, and I had stage fright, like I don't know what, and pretty good came into my life and healed parts of me that I did not know could be healed in such a fast time. And those are parts of me that I didn't want to, I wasn't ready to face yet. So the thing about healing is that in order to heal it, you have to face it and you have to see exactly what it is that needs to be healed. And those are deep, dark, hurt parts of me that I had buried that I did not want to see. And there's still parts of me that still needs to be healed. But his when we would go through things, I would realize like, hold on, wait a minute. This is a hurt part of me that's shining right now. And I had to realize that he was actually there for me and not against me. So I just want to say to you, pretty good, Glenn,
That's my name.
that's your name.
Hmm.
Um, thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for my healing journey, helping me on that journey. Thank you for the words of encouragement. Thank you for the action, because sometimes people could just talk, but it's one thing when you actually put the action behind it. Thank you for sticking around through my craziness and my breakdowns. I mean, I stuck around for yours too, you know. And but I'm saying this is your gratitude right now. So I'm just saying thank you. And you're a pretty good guy.
Thank you. I appreciate you. You're welcome, and thank you for you also helped me. We're gonna get there. You helped me to realize uh, the scars that I still have. From just say mother wounds, from broken family wounds. Um, and the thing is, me and my mother, we we cry, like, we apologize to each other, and we cried and hugged, and then we got to another point where we had to do it again, and sometime this year she said some things, and you was present, and she said some things that opened it. It was still to let me know it was still there. Like, you showed me from my response, like, that it was still there inside of me, because the way it came out, it almost came out like a rage, but it was like more of me trying to protect myself and protect my peace and my future, because I know, or our future, because I don't want me and my mother to be in that place again. And
Mm,
my father is not here on this. He's not physically here, so he left in '08. So um and went back to the creator. So my heart is hurt. My heart is heavy, as well as for my siblings, and when me seeing the pain in them, and knowing that some of them they didn't get the knowledge that I got from my father, but we got enough. We got enough, and we got enough from my mother to be tough. We got enough chess, you know, that game of chess to know how to maneuver. But the hurt is like when somebody's sick and you know they're going and they know they pass and you have time to say goodbye. But when somebody just is ripped out your life and then they're ripped out of this world and you get a phone call, that's hard.
Mm.
That's hard. Like he was my peace. My father told me, if nobody, if if anybody disturbs your peace, keep them away from you. Stay away from them. He
Mm.
said,
Mm.
even if it's him. And I said, if it's you, he said me, your grandmother, your grandfather, me, whoever, great grandmother. So now that he's gone, and social media kind of made it hard for everybody to sit there and be more personal with each other. So because everybody's having 12 conversations, 20 different conversations at one time with different people. You don't get a chance to you don't get a chance to get nobody's ear because they're just texting right now. You don't get a chance to on the phone with them. I'll call you right back. Yeah, I'll call you right back. Or I'm on the phone. I'll call you right back. Or I get a call. So like when you going through stuff, who do you vent to? Who do you turn to? And everybody thinks that what happened to you in the past, you should just get over it. Get over it. When they still didn't get over it, they don't know that they didn't get over whatever they went through. So it's hard when you don't have somebody to teach you how to heal. And thank you for helping me for helping me to 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 learn that I'll still like like
You breaking
like
up.
they say, every time it get good, every time it get good. All right, all right, so you hear me now? I see you smiling. Um, every when it gets to that time when you don't know that you're not loving yourself because you didn't
Mm.
heal. I got to a point where I know I let myself go because there was 2 points in my life where I didn't want to live no more. And one time, like I said, Facebook is bad and Facebook is good. Sometimes, one time Facebook saved my life, you know, and I was standing at my mother's door on 12, ready to walk to the 15th floor, and there's only 14 floors in this building. And her Wi-Fi binged on my phone. I didn't even have no. I didn't even have this bogus phone that I got now. I had an Obama, and the Wi-Fi came on, and my pastor Shirley Strayhorn, my cousin, she
Breaking
came
up.
on and said some words.
Breaking up.
Just when it get
You
good,
breaking up.
right when, right when it get good. Every time it get good, it break up.
Breaking up. Maybe you need some
Still breaking up.
sage. You got some water next to you?
Mm, no,
You notice it. You
ice
notice it's
water,
Mercury retrograde. Where's your water?
ice water. Still breaking up. Still breaking up.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm still here. Still here.
Okay, because you frozen.
Oh,
All right, you frozen.
oh man.
There you go.
Don't
There
freeze.
you go. There you go.
Okay. All right. So I got my
All right, now
water.
you
I
know
mean, I
you're
got ice
supposed.
water.
Okay, well you know you're supposed to bless your water when you do these electrons. You do these things, right? Come on now. Mercury retrograde, and you know there's gonna be powers that be. So we're going to say a real prayer right quick.
Okay.
May this podcast be protected. Let close all the doors to any negative forces trying to stop him from releasing his pain. If there's anything that's trying to interfere with this podcast, remove it. I ask for the ancestors, the warrior ancestors, to come through loud and protect this podcast. And I give thanks. And I give thanks. Ashe, 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 always supposed to have your water next to your, when you're doing things like this,
Mm,
next to your device so that the water could suck up all the negative energy. Water is powerful. You can charge your water to do whatever it is that you need it to do. There may be interferences, but it won't be so many, whereas it's going to stop your show. Nothing is
right.
supposed to be stopping your show right now because this is your time to let go. This is your time to finally, I guess, getting you prepared for
Mm,
advertising your book that you have coming out.
mm,
You understand? Because these are the little excerpts that's going to be in your book. And
right.
plus, we have Mercury retrograde going on.
Right.
So, without further ado, so what was you saying about when you was at your mother's door and you was on the phone with your cousin and you was getting ready to go to the roof?
Yeah, she said some. She said the words I needed to hear. Nope, your kids need you, and you have a great song that could probably change that could change you and your family's life. And nobody, only only my father's side of the family said that to me. Like, they didn't say it exactly about that song, but they knew the talent. They always pushed me singing in the choir in church, playing the trumpet in junior high school, singing in the choir in high school, then selling commercials when kind of like I guess my mother kind of she pushed me, but then I was saying gangster raps. When my father left, I went gangster. I'm gangster rap now. So she was shoot 'em up, bang bang. She didn't want to hear that, so she kind of like thought I was going the other way, and now she enjoys my music and she dances with me. She performs with me, like so. It's a beautiful. To have, But at that time, I was ready to end it, and then I didn't. And there was another point where I was trying to be. I'm selling my CDs on Fordham Road, selling my CDs, and I'm outside, come home. The household where I was at was crazy and eating us out of house and home. I was just like trying to take care of me and my girlfriend at the time and take care of each other. And I got to a point where the street kicked back in once I walked in front of um that check cashing place. And I seen people coming out with money, and I was used to having money at 18. So now I'm not doing the things I used to do, you know, to make money, and I wasn't trying to take money, but I did at a certain point in my life. And now it's cameras around, and we don't do stuff like that. So I was ready to just take it while I was on camera, and I made a phone call, and I got to that psych ward somehow. I don't know. Somebody thought I was having a mental breakdown, and they got the people to pick me up and take me and ask me some questions, and I was like, wait a minute, took my shoestrings and my belt. I ain't trying to kill myself. Like, no. So I said the right things to get me out of there, to get me out of there, because I'm like, I'm not crazy. I just having a moment, and I, I, I'm
But
back.
wasn't that a blessing in disguise though?
Yeah, it was. It was an eye opener. I made it. I'm like, I'm here. Like, I'm here. Like, and like you said, this is another thing. Like you said, creative people, and I didn't have enough. I didn't have my keyboard. I don't have my equipment in front of me. I can't make beats. I can't edit. I can't do. I don't have my camera. I can't do any of the creative things that I wanted to do, and I was going crazy in my mind.
Mm.
In my
Mm.
I'm making music in my
Mm.
mind. People see you in the train station doing the beatbox to yourself. I ain't got no headphone. I ain't got no nothing. They think I'm about to push them in the train station. They moving to the side. I'm looking at them like, oh, I'm not crazy. I'm just making music in my
Mm.
mind, So it was a tough time, and I got to another point. Like I said, once my father passed, I didn't want to be creative, but I when my father worked every day of his life, so he left a little bit of money, and that's when I jumped into pushing my Everybody song. Like I took that little bit of money and got some business cards, bought a couple of little shirts, and start pushing my stuff. Do it on YouTube. Like you said, my first video from YouTube, I didn't even know how to edit. I just recorded, it ended. I put the camera down. In YouTube, you see the whole camera just going down. Press the power button. It was funny, but when he's gone, and my father died in the house by himself, diabetes, and I used to always make sure that I went to him every Friday and spent the weekend with him. And I didn't go that week, and then I got the phone call, and that still is on me. Feels like I wasn't there. So knowing that he wasn't supposed to be living in that house by himself, because we all had a chance to save his life. So that stayed on me. And then
Can I stop you right there? Because I don't want
go
to lose
ahead,
your train of thought.
go ahead.
Um, when I have a similar story to that. When my father died, I was supposed to call him that day, and when I got home, I said, I'll call him tomorrow." But that night, I got a phone call that he died.
Mm,
Um, I took that to heart, and I used to couldn't be able to take death really well until I came into my spirituality, and until I understood that death is just the beginning. They still here with us,
mm,
especially when you're clairvoyant, and you're actually a reader. You can, you know. Um, he said to me, um, "When it's his time, it's his time."
mm,
And if I was supposed to call him, I was supposed to call him. And I say
mm.
to you, I don't think that your father will want you to carry that burden with you.
Right, right.
Your father said, you didn't tell me this before, but you said on this podcast that your father said, whatever is disturbing your peace,
Mm-hmm.
to remove it from your life.
Got you,
And
got
I really don't think that your father wants you to carry that with you. Your father's always with you. And you could talk to him anytime you want.
you.
Anytime you want.
You, you right. And the thing is, I got how I got past that point by another life, almost life ending, and I say life changing. I almost died. Um, when I got a chance to start doing good, and got my own little room. And then now my equipment was stolen from me. So then now I had to make another decision, and I was about to go street. Because I'm not used to nobody stealing anything from me, and then they took it in a opportunist way. So I don't like that either. Like, if you're gonna steal from me, you steal from me. Like, just take it. I know what this is. You don't do it sneakily. I don't know. I never stole from my friends. So um when that was taken from me, I was sitting at looking at four walls now. Got a job, got my own little spot, and now I'm looking at four walls, and my equipment was stolen. So now I'm going crazy again. I have nothing again. And now somebody had told me, being spiteful, you're gonna die in a house by yourself like your father. And and the words, like I came in the house one day, and I was sick. I thought I got sick from my nephew, because he had a little bug, And it wasn't that. My gallbladder was about to explode, and I didn't even know I had gallbladder problem. I thought I had gas all this
Mm.
time, like, and they told me, like, I
Wow.
was in the house 3.5 days, and I said, you know what? It don't matter how many. If it's past 3 days, I mean 3 days, I'm getting up and I'm going. I felt better on the third day, but then I went back down and I took myself from the Bronx all the way to Harlem Hospital, and they said if 2 more days in that house, you would have died. Your gallbladder would have exploded. And that was
Wow.
God telling me to sit down because I was making the decision to go street and to go get my equipment or their equipment by any means necessary, and that was about to change my life. And so he told me, no, sit down, like, and gave me time to think, and that's what made me come back out here and do these shows and start killing all these open mics and all this stuff. Best revenge is success, and and I'm not gonna go backwards for nobody. I'm not going to sell drugs. Go sell. Well, I'm not going to sell bud now, but I'm not going to go sell no drugs and not going to go rob nobody to take nothing from nobody to get nothing. Now I'm gonna take what's mine. I'm gonna take what my I'm gonna take everything that my father and mother taught me, whoever taught them, and use it to my best ability. Dance, sing, rap, produce, edit, uh, be a cameraman, put the camera stand up and jump in front of the camera, record my damn self, go get my queen, my empress, um, wait for wait for her to come, be still and wait for her to come, um, and fire hydrant. Um, yeah, inside joke. So, but
You funny.
that right, yeah, but that took me. That was the next one of the last things that I was fighting. So when now that I almost died in the house, like my father, by myself, and I got out the house, and I got out the hospital on my birthday,
Mm.
like all I did, I got out that. Me and my sister walked out the Harlem Hospital. I pointed to the sky. That's where I was born, and I almost died in the same hospital. I pointed to the sky, said, "Thank you, God." And right now, I'm gonna live this life, and I'm gonna live this life for my last name for my kids, because that's all I got. Music and family is all I got. Like
Ashe.
um,
So now let's talk about the good things. What are you doing now? I mean,
now,
I know we could talk about what you've been through. We're gonna have to bring you on for a part two. How does that sound?
yes, I'm a part two type of dude. Two type of dude. Yeah,
We're gonna have to bring you on for a part two because it's like as soon it felt like you starting to open up when the show was getting ready to end.
that's how it goes.
Uh
Yeah.
huh. But it's all right. It's
Cause
okay because you warmed up. So by the time you come back on next time, you could just jump right into it. So
right.
what are you doing now? You've been
So
through everything that you've been through. We know you sold commercials. Why don't you give them a little back history so that people can know who you are? You should have talked about that in the beginning, but it's okay. So
I did.
give them your resume a little bit. You want me to do the resume for you, or
Nah,
you want to do
you could write it. You could write it down. Later. Or whatever. But so the commercials, they ain't get hell. They gonna sponsor this. They better sponsor this. So I did some production for Old English, Starburst. I did a vocal arrangements for Code 45. I worked with some artists, some Luther Vandross background singers for the Luthers. The guy from the Luthers, I don't remember his name. Uh, uh, Cameron that sings background for Erica Badu, the one in Tyrone with that big afro. She sang on the Code 45. I did a Denny's commercial. Orange Juice Jones was managing us as my production team that I was down with. Like I said, I played the trumpet in junior high school. My man Chalk that played the drums and the buckets. He taught me how to play He taught me about the drums. That's what made me get into making beats. My man Dow Smalls taught me how to put music together. My next door neighbor Raina taught me how to sing over rap beats. Like it's all in my book. This is part of the book. This music life I'm living. That's my. That's my the name of the
Okay,
book.
and
Songwriting.
what was the song that was stolen from you?
Oh well, the song was stolen from. Well, so the song was borrowed. We're gonna say we say borrowed. The song was borrowed. Uh, Chicken noodle soup. The idea was borrowed from my brother's friends that I used to take to the studio. I took everybody to the studio from St. Nick Projects. So I was the one giving everybody beats back in the days. Just everybody from Harlem that you know that got deals now, or deals back in the, that's about my age, 40, you know, or 40 something. Yeah, I said 40. I'm younger, but I used to give them music. Jim Jones, Cam, them used to come through. Everybody when nobody had record deals, Mace and everybody. But but that didn't pan out like how it was supposed to. I started selling commercials, so it was on Hot 97, WBLS, um, whatever that 98.7, all them in different states. So I was saved by music. Like music was really my therapy. Like when I 18 and I left that GED class because we was already doing the homework in the class. Like it was too slow for me. Like I only left school because I had beef in the projects from being in the streets, and my mother sent me down south. When I came back, they didn't want me. School didn't want me. They're like, no. So I had to do what I had to do, and music is what would save me. And my father said,
Mm,
don't just use one of your talents, use them all. So when the devil tried to stab me in the back, or use one of my friends to stab me in the back, I used another talent. You're not going to kick me out of this situation. We started the situation, and if it wasn't for us, we wouldn't be. If it wasn't for me and somebody else, and whoever introduced us to it, the person that we brought in wouldn't be able to stab us in the back. So I'm still going to use. I'm still going to use all of the commercials that he did and we did. That's in my resume. Write it down, Empress. They can't. When monkey don't stop no show. Remember we tried to get that show? Oh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna say that. But one person don't stop a show. We try to get a show, and then we got two shows.
right.
All right.
We damn sure did get blessed. So
Yeah.
tell us about the peace movement that you was doing, that you was a part
Oh,
of.
so right. So a lot of people don't know different talents that I have, but I mean, it's not about me. It's about us doing stuff together. And I was doing camera work for um this I Am Peace, Street Corner Resources, Speak Peace Forward. I used to say cool. I was doing camera work for her, and I was doing social media and helping putting the events together. So just like I had to tell somebody, being a cameraman in the peace movement, you're still an activist. You're part of the movement because without if nobody took a picture of Malcolm standing next to that window, would be no by any means necessary. And if nobody recorded Martin saying "I have a dream," nobody would know that speech. And those are powerful. And those are powerful. That picture is powerful as well as that speech. So I always was behind the camera, and I was shy. You said I'm not shy, but I was shy being on the other side of the camera, just talking, like how you said, talking, but singing, rapping. I'm all in front of the camera. I'm all on that stage. I'm all over the stage. I'm off the stage. I'm in your face. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna party. You know, we're gonna live life, and we're gonna try to live a good life and a better life till life is over.
Ashe. So
And like you said,
what are you doing now as far as your music?
oh, so like thanks to you, I'm actually throwing shows. I've always did a whole lot of shows and hosted shows and co-hosted shows, but I've never actually thrown my own shows. So you got me out there to start throwing the shows. But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be on the other side and be able to have my own platform and put other people on the platform. And that was one of my loves anyway, just having showing other people their talent, showing other people their um something that can get them change their life. Like I took people that's now in the activist. How should I say? I took people, some of my friends that were shooters, and they've been locked up for shooting. Like and now they're activists. But but a lot of gangsters like R&B. So what I did is the ones that could sing, I took them into the studio and took them off the street, and they didn't even know. While the cops was raiding their house, I got them in the studio off the street, you know, and they didn't even know what I was doing, trying to keep them from out here getting shot, from out here falling victim to these streets because it's so easy. It's so easy to see your friends doing it, getting that money and whatever. So I've always been in the house. So what I'm put my studio in the house so I could be with my family. That's what I've done. And now I'm putting together or pushing forward with all of the plans that I've had, that I've been planning, all of the projects that I plan to put out. I'm pushing them forward. So that's the books. I have a couple of books. I have a marketing, advertising, and promotional book for me and you to get. For mainly for artists, music artists, but it's still a blueprint for other things. Because the jingle house I was working for, they taught us how to promote, you know, rather than just letting us sell commercials. They told us how to promote when this internet takes over. And, you know, so the books, all of the online projects that I'm working on, St. Nick Snaps, um, and about to, shoot some more shoot some videos. I'm gonna shoot my
What's the
official
next
video
video
for
you working
everybody.
on?
Next what?
Your next video.
Um, Most likely, I've been always shooting B-roll for my Everybody video. It's a dance song, and so I've always been shooting that. So I'm gonna be maybe Taco Tuesday next Tuesday. I'll shoot some more B-roll. I'll shoot some B-roll for the video, and have the uh Love and Sex video. It's only has 1.5 verses, but it has 2.7 million views on YouTube. And I'm viral in France. I'm nobody here, but um, and yeah, to get the GK, the Get Kinky program, uh, that's it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be. I'm trying to make a mini movie, I felt like I was Michael. I thought I was Michael Jackson. I'm gonna say that. I thought me and Michael was the same age, and when my voice was high before I changed to Barry White. So my project is called Barry Hayes, like Barry White and Isaac Hayes together. So it's Barry Hayes, I W, and yeah, and I have the other book that I don't want to name right now. That's the this life cycle book. And like I said, the music book, the life book, the marketing book, and I'm just trying to push forward with my queen, do our thing, um, put together, what I did is I put together services for anybody that needs cameramen, DJs, uh, studio time, stuff like that, production. But I put together services because I know so many people. I know so many people. It's ridiculous. So I'm doing all the things I was doing before to get that money legally. You need studio time. You need this. You need that. Get, bang, 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 bang. Give me $5 off the 50. I don't care. $5 off the 50. I'll make 50. Whatever.
So
Yeah.
where can everybody find you?
You can find me on IG, on SoundCloud, on FB. My name is PRETTIG, double OD. Yeah, you know me. Yeah. So yeah, you can find me on YouTube. I'm pretty good. That's the letter M, PRETTIGOOD, and you can find me on another YouTube page, which is Pretty Good Music. I mean, Pretty Good TV. Sorry, Pretty Good TV. Same thing. PRETTI. They stole that one too. It was PGTV, but I always said Pretty Good. Pretty Good TV. So they took that one. Another thing that was stolen or borrowed. I'm gonna say this: common sense. I love you, but I gave my business card to you when my daughter was 2.5, and so the years that everybody know, Common did have anything good music. Kanye didn't have anything good music. This music world is big and very small. We all knew a lot of people knew each other before we had deals. So my name is Pretty Good Music. So I think that Kanye should even sign good music, Pretty Good Music, to his good music. That would be good. I could be a baby company, you know, with all this gray hair. So um, hey baby, hey baby, Hurricane Chris. I gave that track, not that track, but the hand clap. God, God rest my man Daniel downstairs, like street politics. He was on the track that I gave him a track, and we didn't do anything with it. And I gave the beat to Hurricane Chris when they came to the Apollo to do A Bay Bay. So I used to work at the Apollo for 5.5 years, and it wasn't. I just gave that one away. I thought it was copywritten, and it wasn't. And so yeah, I'm just gonna get my credits and I guess go back and do music with them since they already did some good music. Had some good ideas, got some good ideas from me. That's the way.
Ashe. This
I
whole
get
time I
mad.
was letting you talk. I was letting you talk so long. 'Cause this whole time I was trying to find a video of you,
Oh,
um,
could have went to
uh,
YouTube.
performing. You were supposed to sit. I wanted to do a live. I wanted them to see you live so they could see your energy because you are two different people. When you are sitting here, and you're talking. You're so humble. You speak so lightly. So I guess that's your father. That's Big Glenn. But when you on stage, you are a totally different person.
I'm
A
gonna
totally
say this.
different person.
I'm gonna say this though. My mother and father used to dance, but before that, my guy, my guy, Uncle Bobby, Robert Joseph. When I was 5 years old. God took him when I was 5, and he used to have me, my cousin Rashard, God bless him too, and my cousin Ronald in the same household right next door with 8 tracks dancing. Motown, dancing. Yeah, he was a dancer. So that I think that energy with my mother and father, that's it, plus me and Michael, of course, because I thought I was Michael. So until the whole Jackson 5 grew up, and I'm like, hell, wait a minute, I'm still small, and I didn't know about reruns. I thought they was all the same age. So, but that's who you see. Like I think that's my Uncle Bobby jumps out of me or jumps into me, and because he didn't have a chance to do what he's supposed to do, and they say he was a
It
help.
makes
He was
sense. It
right.
makes sense because you are two totally like you calm, you talk, but when you on stage, you command the crowd. Like you dancing all over the place, you all in the crowd, you got crowd participation. And I was so busy trying to find a video. Next time, send me the video when I ask you, please.
Okay. Okay.
But it's
I
okay.
sure.
It's all right because
I
we're gonna
will.
have a
I will,
part
boss.
two.
Sorry, boss lady.
It's all right because we're gonna have a part two, and when we have the part two next time, we're gonna do more shows. Everybody's always asking us, "Well, we're gonna put on another show." We definitely gonna have one, maybe October, November. Who knows? We never know. You know how that may go, but
They
yeah.
asked me
But it
today.
was,
Hmm.
huh?
So they asked me today, how about this? When I'm gonna just throw her name in there. Nat and Sneaker. When one of them get on the show, I'm gonna throw my video right in there to take over now. But yeah, I, I
Well,
I could do that.
shout
Yeah.
out to Nat and Shaniqua. I shouted them out my
Hmm.
last podcast. last week, last Thursday. I have
Yeah.
pictures of them. Let me show them. They are a very intricate part
Woo!
of our
That's
lives.
my brother and sister.
Love them down. Love them
That's
down. I
hmm
shouted them out last week. These two right here, they are they exemplify black love.
You did a
Shaniqua is
great
a
job with the show.
politician.
Hmm
Yes, she did. They really did. Shaniqua Charles is a politician. I met her back in the days. For me vending and we know the same person, and then here we go, we back in the same circle again this year. We done forgot about each other, and and we just so happen that's just how the world goes. And her
Right.
king, which is on the left here, who you see with the black tank top, which is Nat Fisher. Good
hmm
brother, good brother. It's funny, how again in a circle.
Right.
He grew up with my family in Fort Greene, and I
hmm
was on his show. Do you want to tell him how we met?
Yeah, I
And
was
then
about
we
to
can
say
end
that.
this stuff.
Right, right.
Uh
So, you got more pictures of them and that, yeah, you keep it right there. So, like, so I met Nat a couple of times. Like, we had to get on we was on the float when, I did the African American Day Parade a few years, performed there, it goes right past my project. So, Nat actually got on the float and we met on the float, but he had to jump off. So, I didn't get a chance to actually talk to him and get to know him and exchange stuff. And months later, one of my childhood friends from junior high school introduced me to him, and then we started talking and realized that we met already. And we had met, and we did another show together. And I remembered him because of his logos. How you doing, King? All right. So I remember him because he was always logoed out. He branded. He had Nat Fisher all over the chest, the microphone, everything, the hat, pants, shoes, whatever. So later on, I met Shaniqua through the peace movement, and and she was doing something for my cousin that got killed, my cousin's kid that got killed at 15, and she was the only person that really showed interest, and she had the I am peace, the what I was the person that I was working with, she had that button on, so it's just so crazy that I knew that Nat had had eyes for Shaniqua. In 2020 quarantine, no open mic was open, and Shaniqua opened her her spot up for open mic, and I came in and I introduced. I said, Nat, come through, and I just watched Nat look at her, and his heart melted, and I wish I had the camera in my hand, but it's so crazy that full circle, like you said, you met Shaniqua somewhere else, and then Nat had a podcast with you featuring you and another an MC Nubia that played a part in us meeting, well, us you know getting to know each other a little better. So walking in, walking in, seeing your flyer, I came to the podcast, which was another little karaoke on the back end of after the podcast, and you had a hat like that on, and they had the light shining on you, and you were just looking like a little angel. And the room was dark, and the light was on you, and the hat. You were just looking, and I sat there, and I had I waited, and I asked my brother Nat to introduce me to you. So, oh,
you
and
ain't come.
then, huh?
Yeah, I'm listening.
And another person, like you said, your big bro, uh, Kevin Meggett, he had a part to play with you meeting them, which Kevin is my best friend, one of my day ones cousins, long lost cousins, and me and Kevin was hitting each other up to find out if that was his family or not. And I didn't know nothing about you at that time, so it's crazy how these same people like introduced this one to that one, this one to that one, and then now we're family. Fire hydrant.
Family, fire hydrant.
Right.
I'm sitting here. I'm trying to find these pictures, but you know what? It's all right. We could do it for another time. You know,
Yeah,
we
but
could do it for another time. It don't want to come in. I'm all over the place right now, but it's all right. We'll see that for another
okay.
time. We'll have a whole bunch of more pictures. You know, again.
Hmm. Hmm. I think I'm gonna have to be here. I'm gonna have to be down with this toy experience. This toy experience. I'm gonna have to get down with you and play a role. You give me a job, I'll do it. I play my position. Yeah, but on another note, I
Wait, hold on. But I didn't. I could. You couldn't hear me because I hit the wrong button. You said you're gonna have to what?
I said I have to get a job with Etoys and experience and play my position, whatever you want. If you got a job for me,
Listen,
in
we
there.
already business partner. We gonna make it happen. We making it happen. We creating spaces. Wait, what's
Right,
that?
right. No, this is the I remember we talked about this. I think the main two, well, other than Aunt Margie, I think the main two people, because my father was about that unk life, and when I saw you with that unk, like my whole family was just like, oh yeah, okay, that's just they just love you with open arms already because everybody loved my father and not everybody knew what that unk life was about or whatever. I still didn't know everything about it, but we knew my father was heavy into it. And you said your father was, so I think that they had a big part in putting us together to heal each other
And the time
and
is 1:38. We been on for 1:38, and that's my father's birthday, 3/18. See?
mm-mm-mm.
Yep. So
That's what I'm talking about.
we're gonna get ready to get off because we don't want to bore the people. We've been on for almost we've been on for 1 hour and 39 minutes, and which is much longer than I thought that we was gonna go. But I just want to say thank you. You have been very humble. You didn't really go into it. You ain't really go into it deep like how we have our personal conversations. But it's okay, and
Mm,
I greatly appreciate what you did share. And thank you for coming on the show and sharing and opening up because I know that could be. Thank you. I know that can be challenging because you don't want to put other people's business out on the street when you telling your business. When you
right.
telling your pain, things of that nature, and sometimes it could cause a domino effect. But what I do
Sure.
want to say is what I want to say to our parents is that no matter what how they treated us when we was children, we still love them because we have empathy for them and we understand that they only did as best as they could. And if they knew better, they would do better. And we parents as well, and we're young adults as well. And we still have to learn and our children is not gonna like everything that we do. And
Right.
especially when you sit down and you actually hear what your parents been through, it's like, oh my God, how can I be mad? So
Mm-hmm.
shout out to all the parents. Shout out to everyone in the
And
world.
kids.
Everyone.
Right.
Shout out to
Right.
everyone in the world because everyone has been through. I don't care who you are, how much money you got in your pocket, what's your social economical status, how famous you are. You all gotta eat, shit, sleep, cry. You need love. You need the essential things that human beings need. So may I send love to everyone in the world because the world is in an uproar right now. People are going through things financially, and people have been dying off these past years, and families are broken up, and the universe has changed, and the earth has changed so much that we have to fit in now and still try to be sane, fit in with the new norm that's going on. So shout out to everyone, and everyone that has played a part in our path was a lesson and a blessing because it did something for us. It made it. We still here, so we're still strong. And those are the kids in the background. Thank
Shout,
you.
shout out to the kids.
Shout out to the kids. Shout out to the kids. They said shout out to the kids.
Right, because we
You
was kids
know,
and we was going through it, and they're going through whatever they're going through right now.
exactly. Exactly. And sometimes we don't know that, and we don't recognize that. And me, going through what I went through, I realized that what I go through, they go through. So it's thank you for saying that.
You,
It reminded me, huh?
I just want to say, you know why? Because we always say, sometimes we be like, "Oh, I wish I was a kid again." They don't have a care in the world. But what? That was a bad. That wasn't a true statement. Like really, like now that we see that we're here, they do have a whole lot of caring that's going on right now with them. Like
They
you
really
know,
do. And they always did.
right? And that's
They always did. Like they little people, and you never know what they're going through, and especially us when we coming up as children, and now
mhm,
we carrying those same wounds. Okay, I
right,
guess I'm gonna end it out with you here because
right,
I got some things I want to say. Normally I'll
okay.
put the guests in the background, but I'm getting ready to end it out here, y'all. So yeah, I know I have to have my closing remarks. To all the people, to all the individuals, to all the human beings that's in the world, that's dealing with, pain and trauma, go deep within yourself and take some time out for yourself to see exactly what it is that brought that pain on, or why do you have that trigger. Because sometimes we carry things deep within our psyche and that we don't know that we're carrying. And I'm sorry. I just had to put the phone on mic and yell at the kids right quick because I hear people crying and throwing slippers and everything, and they made me lose my train of thought. It's hard, it's
The
challenging
mother,
being a
the
mother and a
mother,
parent,
and a host.
and a host, because you got the kids in the background still doing everything that they do. I'm just like, oh my god, I just lost my whole train of thought. But speaking of children, sometimes you have to have the mind of a child just to be free, and they still at it. You have to have the mind of a child to be free and just laugh and just enjoy the life that you have. Is there anything that you want to say? Because my mind is
Yeah.
flustered.
So I just
I
want to
can't.
say, shout out to all my nieces, all my nieces. I got one nephew, Dallas, and all the nieces. How about that? Dallas, all the nieces and my kids. Ty, Nas, Titi, Minaj, and my mother, and all my ancestors, and my siblings. Yo, kids. And
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, and I appreciate you. It was great having you. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for telling your story. Thanks for opening up. Because I know you are a very, very private person. So for you to do that for me and on the show, I really appreciate you. And we made it through Mercury retrograde. And as we was coming on, I had to pray. That I get through this podcast because I felt flustered. I've been running back and forth, in and out, in and out, in and out all day long, and all throughout the week and going through whatever I was going through. So my mind was frustrated and I kept asking the Most High just to give me the words to say. And
Mm,
I hope that whatever I said today, it resonated with everyone. I hope, someone, got the medicine because normally I just would go with the whole spiel. But sometimes maybe you just don't need that.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Maybe you just
mm,
don't need that. Maybe we just need to let things just be. So
mm,
on that note, I'm going to end the podcast just like that. Peace and love, everyone. Thank you for tuning in every Thursday at 8 p.m. I greatly appreciate y'all. I'm getting ready to take this to the streets. We getting ready to go, go out and interview the world because I just can't sit here on my pretty couch. I got to get out there in the world, and everybody got to get this medicine. So peace and love, and I always challenge y'all. What did you do for yourself today? Do you love yourself? If you don't love yourself, you better, because no one's gonna love you like you, but the Most High. As long as you love you and you love yourself, then you set this precedence on how everyone else is going to treat you. So love yourself. What did you do for yourself today? How did you take care of yourself today? Did you do something special for yourself? Always make sure you do that, because that's how you stay grounded, and that's how you can be able to nurture and be amongst the community, and be able to be a service to everyone else. So I want to say thank you. Thank you to my guest, Pretty Good. Thank you to everyone that stayed, this long and watched, because this was a long one. But we're gonna have Pretty Good back again. And stay tuned for our shows. Last week I showed some clips and some pictures. Check out the last show when I had went through all of that whole spiel. So thank you again. Have a good one. Peace. Be safe.